Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg and I am a lover of all things beauty and makeup, especially eyeshadow palettes. I tend to do a lot of content focused around that, and this video is no different. I am going to be doing a first impression using the Ensley Cosmetics Cold Moon palette. I'm so excited about this. So if you are excited to just sit down and watch me play with this for the first time, then keep on watching. So here is the Cold Moon palette. If you haven't seen the inside yet, here she is. It is a gorgeous, very like cool tone color story, which the only other palette I have from them is the Harvest Moon, and that is very warm tone. So I'm really excited to have something on the other spectrum. With this palette, like I said, 21 shades total, which includes 10 luxurious mattes, 11 specialty shimmers, which includes 4 multi-dimensional holochromes, 1 multichrome, 3 duochromes, 2 ultra sparkly shimmers, and 1 classic satin shimmer. So you really get a variety of textures and finishes with this, which I think is really magical. The packaging as well is, I find it super stunning and beautiful. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I do know also there has been definitely some, I don't know if I want to say drama, but just talk around just the brand and how they use or seem to use AI artistry for their packaging. I don't really know the first thing when it comes to designing packaging, running a brand, anything like that. So, you know, I don't know. I can admit that for me personally, I would love it more if it was an artist. I would have thought that it was a beautiful artist doing this, at least just like at least after Unearthly Cosmetics, I just assumed that brands just, that's what they did. But I still do find it beautiful. I don't know. Think how you want to think about the brand with that. It doesn't like ruin them for me. I don't think they should be like canceled for it or anything, but it's just, that is what it is. It definitely goes hand in hand with how the Harvest Moon was designed, and I just think they're really beautiful, cohesive, and I really like it. I'm really excited. So let's dig in and start creating a look with it. Okay, so I actually decided that I think I want to do like a 3 looks 1 palette with this. I just think it would be a lot of fun to just try to play with as many shades as possible. So for this first look, I'm going to start with the shade here called Rebirth, and we're just going to take that on a Morphe JS11, just like a flat shader brush, and we're going to start placing that in the outer corner. I really loved the way the mattes performed in the Harvest Moon palette, so I'm really excited to play with some other tones and shades now in this palette. I just think it is a beautiful formula, and I'm excited to play with more of it. And then next we're going to take a Morphe JS13, just like sort of like a little, almost like a pencil brush, and I think we're going to go into the shade Cold Moon, so just like this light gray here. That up, and we're just going to start blending this out. I don't think I want to bring the mattes in too far. I just really want like one of the shimmers or 2. We'll see, really shine on the inside. So I'm not going to bring this in too far. I feel like I actually want to go with a bit more of a blending brush for this. So I think we're going to actually take this Beach Cosmetics brush. I don't really know where it's from, and we're going to dip that into that Cold Moon shade. Yeah, I think I just need something a bit fluffier for that. I was really torn between getting this palette and the Lands of Enchantment one, because that one just looks so beautiful. I really hope to get my hands on that one day. With the price of Ensley Rain Cosmetics shadows, I could not get both. So hopefully one day, I don't think that one's limited edition, but I could be wrong. Hopefully one day it will be in my collection. I'm sorry, I'm just going back in with that first shade. What was that again? Rebirth. And just re-intensifying the depth. I like that there's a bit more like variety in like the depth of the matte shades with this palette. I love the Harvest Moon, but I will admit one thing that is frustrating with it is that like there's only, I think there's definitely more mattes in this shade, sorry, in this palette than what there was in Harvest Moon. And I loved having all the shimmers, but I just wish that we either had more mattes or the mattes that we did have had more versatility, like variety amongst them. I just think that it just would be a bit more user-friendly. Like, I don't know how many people feel like they can go directly from, like, just with that palette. Like, I think the shades blend out really well, so I think it is achievable, but I don't know if it's going to be your go-to because of that reason. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm really liking this. I was actually kind of worried when I first saw this palette that the opposite was going to be the problem, and I thought the shades were all going to be too light, and that there was going to be really hard to achieve any depth from this. But I think that that is a nice level of depth, and it is building up nice, and I don't even feel like this is the darkest shade in here, but like it's building up really nicely where I can create more depth easily. I'm just going back and forth. When I pick up the BH Cosmetics brush, I don't have any more of the Cold Moon shade on here. I'm just trying to help make sure that the blend between the two is as seamless as possible. And then, geez, I feel like I'm always wiping wigs out of my face. We're going to go with our NYX glitter glue. Just looking for a brush. We're going to take this like flat rounded brush and take some of this directly on here. I always use glitter glue. Like, I guess I could try putting the shades on without it, but just that's not how I'm going to wear them. So I kind of feel like, what's the point? And then I'm trying to decide what, there's just so many beautiful shimmers in here. I'm trying to decide what one I wanted to go in with first. And I think I just want to go in with this Snow Crystal here in the shade. I just think it's going to complement the gray tones just so beautifully. So I'm just taking that same brush and going directly in with this. It picks up quite a bit. And I'm just going to start stamping that all over the lid. Oh my God. Like, can you see how beautiful? Oh my gosh. I just can't even. If I wasn't wearing such ridiculous claws right now, I would even go probably in with my finger a bit just to help get it up, like have it up here and like diffused out instead of, I think I'm gonna, well, I'm gonna make sure to wipe it off. And I'm gonna go with that BH Cosmetics brush, just with nothing else on it. I'm just gonna go along the edge of that shimmer just to help make sure that it blends in nicely. And then we're actually going to go back into that Rebirth shade. And I'm just picking up just a little bit of it, and we're just going to tap over the edge of the shimmer. And then with that brush with the shimmer, with no additional product on it, just whatever might still be there, I'm going to tap on the edge of the matte. And it just helps make sure that they blend seamlessly together. Right, time for the lower lash line. I am going to go back into that Rebirth shade, so the darkest shade we used out here, and I'm just going to take that on this Morphe PK45. It's just like a little angled kind of brush. I like to use it for my lower lash line. I think it's like way too chunky for a brow brush. Definitely getting some kick up using this brush. So I don't know if that's just the kind of brush it is and that maybe it's a little rough for these shadows, but I guess just something to keep in mind if that's gonna bother you. All right, and then I'm gonna jump back in with that BH Cosmetics brush and dip it lightly into Cold Moon. We're just gonna blend the edge of that a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I don't really want the lower lash line to be too intense. And yeah, sorry if I seem a little spacey. It's been a long day. One of my kiddos was like sick last night, so I didn't really get a lot of sleep. I don't know if I mentioned in the intro today, like the day I'm actually doing my makeup. It's my birthday. Just turned 39, so celebrating entering the last year of enjoying my 30s. But that's okay. We're fine with that. And yeah, it's been just a long day. Not a bad day, just a long day of working and dealing with sick kids. I'm taking a little bit more of my NYX glitter glue, and we're gonna go into that same Snow Crystal shade, and we're gonna stamp that on the inner corner and then drag it onto the lower lash line a little bit too. But something just like that. I think that's where we're gonna leave like the shadows. I'm gonna go catch up this eye, and then we are going to probably just have like the finished look and show you what the first look looks like. So be right back. All right, here we are. Look number one. What do we think? I think it's just a fun little like cool tone glam. I am loving this. This shimmer, oh my gosh. I hope the camera captures just how magical it is, because I am just as blown away as I've been with Ensley Cosmetics like shadows so far, even only having tried one other palette. But so excited to play with more shades. To complete this look, I used some lashes from Ioni Lashes. These are crisscross cat eye long. I don't know, they're from some sort of like butterfly collection. There's not really like a name or anything on them, so it's hard to say what style. On my lips, I went with one of the NYX Cosmetics, what is it called? Lip Lingerie Double XL. This is in the shade Pushed Up. I thought it was just a nice sort of cool toned pink, almost with a bit of like purpley-ness to it. I just really liked that. So yeah, and I added some gems. Couldn't help myself. I just thought it added to like the magic of the look. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first look, and we'll move on to look number two. All right, we're ready for look two. So I think today I want to delve more into like sort of like the dusty pinks. I'm still unsure of what like shimmer I want to use with this look, but I don't know, we'll figure it out. There's so many beautiful ones in here. So yeah, let's pin this hair back because this wig is wild. And we'll get started. I think I have an idea in mind of like sort of the shape I want to go for. I've already primed my lids. I don't always mention everyone, but like I do always use the same thing, the P. Louise Base Pro. This was in Rumor 0.5, but it's just like one of their lightest shades. Like it might be like the lightest shade, I think, before it's just stark white. And yeah, what shade first? I think I want to go in with, I think we're going to go in with, it's called cat mint first. So this just like dusty rosy shade. And I'm taking that on this little brush. It is Morphe JH42. And we're going to pick up cat mint. And we're just going to start placing that, make sure the base is blended out. A lot easier to do today without clawed press-ons on. And we're going to place this just inside here and curve that around. So something like a bit different. It's not like a super like unique or whatever way to do shadow, but I think it'll be a fun way to mix it up from what I usually will do. And then we're going to take that same shade and brush and we're going to place it also on the outer corner, sort of start to create a bit of a wing. Definitely, this color has more depth than I originally thought it would. Like looking in, like I think I mentioned it with the first look, just looking at the palette in general, I was a little bit worried that I was going to have like sort of the opposite problem I felt like I had with the Harvest Moon palette, where I just thought the shades were going to be like all too light. But so far, there's actually a good amount of depth in here, along with like just like how nice and light the shades are. All right, sorry, I hope I'm not holding the mirror in front of me. And then we're going to drag this also about halfway along the lower lash line. Right there. And then let's go in with, we'll take this brush. It is a Luxie 151. It says it's like a mini flat. And I think we're going to go into Orthia. Gosh, there's going to be so many shades I'm not going to be able to pronounce. But just this one here. It's just like sort of along the same lines, just maybe a little bit more pink to it. And we're going to start blending along. Ooh, those blend beautifully together. Yeah, something like that. And then we're gonna, same thing, but go on the inside of here a little bit, as well as the outside. And just kind of like that. Just trying to keep it soft, and we can always like re-intensify, and like we will go in and re-intensify the previous shade. All right, and then we are going to grab this, another Morphe. This is the M506, and I think we're going to take the shade Winter Rose, sort of just like the lightest pink shade in the palette. So I just really want to keep everything sort of in that pink realm. We're going to use that to start just doing the final blend out. Sort of bringing that like right into the brow and fluffing it out. Oh gosh. Like the mattes with Ensley Rain, or well, sorry, the shimmers with Ensley Rain are just as magnificent as like people make them out to be. But I was just like so pleasantly surprised to discover just how lovely the mattes are. And then same thing, we're just bringing it kind of on the inside here. Well, not kind of on the inside, it is on the inside. And we're gonna like clean up this line here, so I'm not really too worried about how close it gets to there or whatever. because if you haven't put two and two together already, we're going to place a shimmer in there. And it's fine if they like kind of lightly connect up here. Like I'm not really trying to have it specifically connect, but if it does a bit, that's fine. And then we're just going to blend this just on the inner corner. I don't want to bring it out right here. I want to maintain more depth right there. But yeah, something like that. And we're going to go back in with the prior shades. Re-intensify them. Not that there's really that much of like a struggle with making sure that everything blends together great, because like I was just saying, the mattes are amazing and everything just is like seamless. Like I'm barely having to put any effort into this at all. Right, a little bit more of this down here. And then back in with the very first one, just to make sure we don't lose any of that depth. Freaking love the color story for this palette. Like I love that it's like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of like cool toned palettes that come out are like very specifically like gray or are like cool tone browns. But I love that there's like just like a cool tone sense with like pinks and purples and greens. And it's like, I don't want to say dusty, because dusty I feel like almost sounds like, oh, like dusty. But it's not dusty in a bad way. It's just like got this like, I don't know, just lightness to it. It's just really interesting. I really like it. All right, I'm gonna get some stuff. I'll probably just quickly kind of clean up the area off camera, and then we'll figure out what shimmer we're gonna go in with. Pretty straightforward look. There's not really gonna be a whole lot more to this, but I just really want to play with some more shades, so that's what we're doing. All right, so as you can see, just kind of cleaned up the area a bit. It's not really something that you have to do, especially like with like placing a shimmer. Like I think it would be really beautiful just to like go in and just have the shimmer be the bridge between the two sections of mattes, but for whatever reason, it's just how I felt like doing it today. So that's what we did. I off camera, after I did that, I also just went ahead and applied my NYX glitter glue. As I always say, I use that stuff with every shimmer, so nothing new there. And I'm just taking another one of my just regular flat rounded paintbrushes that I use for the eyes, and I've decided that we're going to go on with, again, it's a shade that I am going to like totally butcher the name of. I should have probably looked on like online off of here to see how to pronounce stuff, but I think it's Keon. It's just this beautiful, I don't know whether or not anything will, you know, do it justice when it comes to trying to show any like shift, but it's a very beautiful shifty. I think this is like one of like the holochrome shades, I think. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to go in directly with this one, and we're going to use this on the lid, and then I'm pretty sure we'll pick another shade to use on the inner corner too, because I want to pull at least one more shimmer into this look. And we're going to start placing that right along the cut, and then just sort of have it be like really crisp along the edge there, and then just, you know, blend out into the other mattes. So bit of a cut crease moment happening, I guess. It'd be really nice, and I have done it with other looks too, to like place like a bit of like cake liner in there to like emphasize the cut a little bit, but I just didn't feel like doing that with this. I just feel like it's such a ethereal palette that I just really wanted to, yeah, this is definitely one of the holochromes. Like it's just the multi-dimensional sparkle in this shade is insane. Like I'm sure you'll have seen it in the swatches, but It is crazy beautiful. Oh, God. I need more palettes from this brand so bad. I just wish that it didn't cost a small fortune, especially being in Canada, to get them. But one day I shall own more. I'd love to own all of like these like moon ones. Like there's a flower moon and a strawberry moon one that I would really love to get. And I also really want I want all of them. I also really want Lands of Enchantment, which I think I said earlier in the video. And then I would love to also get that Mad Hatter one. I don't like the tea party. I don't remember what it's called. But you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. That one's so beautiful. And also I love the concept for it too. Sorry, I'm just trying to find like a little, here we'll go with this. It's just another one of the Morphe JH42 brushes. I would love to get that one too if it's still available, but we'll see. I think I'm going to go in for the inner corner. I think I'm going to go in with Forbidding, which I feel like this is just sort of a sparkly shimmer. It doesn't really look like it has like any kind of a shift to it, but it looks like it's really nice and sparkly. And I think the pink will just play with this look. When I was putting glitter glue on the lid, I also put it already in the inner corner, so I'm not reapplying that. Oh yeah. It's just really nice and sparkly, and I think it's just gonna add a little something, a little oomph to this. Just like that. I am really loving how that is looking. I'm gonna go do the other eye, and we're going to just like put on like lashes, finish the look. I'll come back and I'll show you, and we'll see the completed look number 2. All right, here it is, the finished look number 2. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I am just loving this eyeshadow palette so much. It is just the color story of my dreams, and I'm having so much fun, and I can't wait to create even like one more look for this video. To finish off the look, I put on the NYX Cosmetics, this is one of their matte lipsticks, like the suede lipsticks. This is in Lavender and Lace, just a nice cool toned purple shade I just thought would really complement the look. I'm wearing the same Ioni lashes as I wore in the last look. This one here though is driving me nuts. It's like poking in my eye in a way, and anyways, this won't be on for too much longer anyways. And then I think I forgot to mention it in my last look, but for highlighter, I actually went in with this Diamond Moon Dust sample that I had gotten from Ensley Rain in my Harvest Moon order as like a little like kind of gift. So I don't know like what the shade is, but it's just this beautiful like pink gold sort of shift, and I've just been using it as like a loose highlighter, and I absolutely love it, and I thought it would go really nicely with the look. So I hope you're enjoying these so far. Which one's your favorite so far? I guess we have to wait and see what look number 3 brings. But yeah, we'll be back to do one more look. So see you soon. Okay, time for look number 3. So I was looking at the color story of what mattes I hadn't used yet. Obviously there's a lot of shimmers I haven't used yet either. But matte wise, I think I want to delve for sure into like Mother's Night, this like dark brown, Transformation, this just sort of like mid-tone cool brown, and then maybe even pull in a little bit of Winter Solstice, which is this really beautiful kind of dusty green I just thought would be really pretty. So let's go in. I think we're going to do a halo eye for this look. I'm just trying to mix it up and make sure I'm doing something different for each one. All right, grab this brush. This is just like a Jessup one. It came from a brush set that they had sent me quite a while ago. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any like names or anything. But let's dip into Mother's Night. All right, I'm just gonna stamp that on the outer corner. Start building up some depth. And also on the inner corner. I think I've got a hair too right there. Just like that. And then let's go in with, we're going to take a Luxie 121 mini tapered brush, and we're going to dip into that transformation shade I had mentioned. So sort of like that mid-tone cool brown. I'm going to start blending this out. All these little hairs just drive me nuts. Start blending that out. Like that. A bit darker than I originally anticipated, but that's fine. Like, it's not so dark that, like, it's still like a nice mid-tone. It's going to blend out that first shade really nicely, but just something to keep in mind is some of the shades do come across darker than what they might seem. So just if you're going in with this palette, just be aware of that and be careful. Next, we're going to take this Morphe JH40, just like a little blending brush, and we are going to go into that green that I mentioned, Winter Solstice. And we're going to use that to blend the very edge out. Ooh, it just adds such a pretty pop. I really like that a lot. So pretty. It just helps add a little something special. Right, I was having a hard time deciding what shimmer we were going to go in, because that's what we're doing next. Off camera, I just went and like deepened and like finessed the blend. You've seen me do that with other looks a million times, so same thing. I think, I keep going back and forth. I think that I'm going to go in with Borealis, this beautiful shifty shade. I don't know, what way am I trying to go with this? I don't know if, here, let me put up my finger and maybe you'll be able to see the shiftiness to it. I'm not great at showing this off. Anyways, I think it would just have a beautiful like pink to green shift, so that's what we're gonna do. I already applied some NYX glitter glue and just going in with the same brush, which is just like this no-name like little flat brush that I have. I think I got it off like a pack of them off of Shein. And we're just going to go, like I said, in the middle because we're doing a halo eye. Oh yeah, that's just beautiful. Just at the top, I'm just sort of bouncing the brush around a bit because I don't want a really solid line. Again, I thought about introducing like a graphic liner across the top and just doing something a bit more structured for this, but it's just, that's not what I want to do with these looks. I just want to really capture sort of the like soft ethereal vibes from it, and that's just what I'm feeling with it. So I'm just trying to soften slash blend out the sparkle a little bit at the top so it sort of fades into the mattes there, but on the most part that is it. Let's jump right into the lower lash line. So we're just going to grab this Morphe JH43. It's just like a flat definer brush, and we're going to first go in with that Mother's Night, that deep brown that we used on the inner and outer corner, and we're just going to start Dragging that along the lower lash line, slash I guess kind of stamping it along. And then we'll use maybe another one of sort of like the sparkly shimmers. That's like not shifty, it's just simply got some nice shimmer to it for the inner corner again, I think is what we'll do. And just while I have this brush, I'm also just sort of fanning it into the same shade into the matte and shimmer, and then I'm actually going to go just back in the shimmer a little bit just to get that step out of the way. And then with that same brush that we used on Transformation, I'm going to lightly dip back in, and we're just going to run that along the lower lash just to help make sure the blend is there. And then we're going to go into Winter, I always forget the shade, Winter Solstice with the same brush that we used for that, and we're going to do a light blend for that. Just to help draw everything together. Sometimes you have to still go back and forth a little bit. So I don't want to like lose the depth that's in the outer corner here. Back in with this brush with Mother's Night, just to make sure it's just nice and deep. Just like that. So you know the drill. We're gonna do this eye, and then we will, you know what, actually before we do that, because I said I was going to use that shade on the inner corner, let's get that taken care of. So I'm just grabbing this BH Cosmetics brush, pretty much with all of my brushes from BH Cosmetics, which I don't have a lot of. I had a couple sets that I had gotten from like Winners or whatever, and I don't really know what the sets are anymore. But I'm taking some NYX glitter glue on that brush, and then I think we're going to go into Wolf Moon with this one, which just looks like this really beautiful kind of silver. Seems fitting for the name. And we're just going to go and put that on the inner corner. Oh yeah. I love the super shifty shades, but I am really loving these sparkly shimmers too, because even though like they don't shift, just like the sparkle that is in them is just so gosh darn beautiful. We're even going to take a little bit of that and put it very lightly on the brow bone. And then go back in with that first brush, no additional product, but just want to make sure that it blends and that inner corner doesn't completely overtake what I have there. And yeah, pretty happy with that. So now I'm going to go catch up the other eye, just really finish off the look. We'll come back, share the finished look, and just our overall thoughts so far on the palette. Here it is, the finished third look using the Ensley Rain Cold Moon palette. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun playing with this. This is such an amazing color story, and I'm really happy I made the decision to get this one. I know I would have really loved Lands of Enchantment as well, but I just really wanted to get this one first, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get my hands on Lands of Enchantment as well, because I think that that color story looks absolutely magical as well. And just the blend from the mattes and the sparkle and shiftiness from the shimmers just tells me that I just want this formula in every kind of color and that imaginable. So definitely want to get more, but so far between this one and Harvest Moon, I am having a lot of fun trying out the brand. I think this one, between the two I have, so like this between Cold Moon and Harvest Moon, I think I'd have to say that Cold Moon is my favorite. Just the cool tones are a little bit more what I'm drawn to than the warmer tones of Harvest Moon. But I still absolutely adore that palette, so that's not saying anything bad about that. To finish off this look, I threw on from ColourPop their Star Wars collab. Well, one of their Star Wars collabs. I threw on their Luxe Gloss in Elite. It's just this beautiful, like, sparkly purple shifty gloss. Just thought it would go with the eyes really nicely. And then the lashes I'm wearing are from Sephora collection in Swanky 33. I don't know if these are still available. I've had these for quite a while. I just had them in my kind of lash drawer and finally decided to give them a try. I think I like them, not sure. I didn't trim these ones down, so they are a little bit more on the inner corner than I've been wearing lately, which can kind of irritate my eyes a bit, but I do like the style and I think it complements the look nicely, so we're just gonna go with it for now. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing something different with this one and doing the 3 looks and first impression all together. It was just really nice getting to play with as many shades as possible and just get a really good feel for the palette just right off the get-go. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you like this video and if also you like the 3 looks. I can't promise to do like this sort of thing every time, but I will try to do them more often or at least do it again. I would appreciate if you gave this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I'd love to have you stick around for more. If you're not already, you should check me out on my other socials. I'm Spooky Mama Glam on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Coming along on this journey with me through experiencing this palette, and I can't wait to film some more, and I'll just catch you on the next one. Bye!